Hello, my name is Evie from the YouTube channel English with Evie, and you are listening to the English Podcast, a podcast designed to make English a part of your life. Today, we are going to be talking all about personality types. Personality types, in particular, being an introvert versus being an extrovert. This podcast is designed for English learners to use while they are doing other things. So listen to this while you are cleaning your bedroom, while you are walking the dog. Listen to this podcast while you are on the way to work. I want you to practice listening while you are doing other things. We're studying right now, okay? This counts as homework, all right? I have brought a coffee with me today for the podcast. So I have an iced coffee with me. And I thought it could be really interesting to speak about the idea of being an introvert versus being an extrovert. So, introverts and extroverts. This might be a term that you are familiar with already. I know some people are interested in like personality tests and things like this, but just in case you do not know what is an introvert or an extrovert, you haven't heard these terms before. It's basically a way of describing how outgoing somebody is, how much they like to be around people. So, if you are extroverted, it means that you are somebody who loves to be surrounded by people, hanging out with people. It gives you energy, it makes you super happy. Extroverts are usually very confident and they have lots of friends and they love being at like a house party. If they could walk into a room full of people that they don't know, for them, that's like the dream, okay? Meanwhile, for introverts, the association is that they are a little bit more shy, I suppose, maybe more reserved, we would say. They maybe prefer to be with people who they know very, very well. And often introverts really like to be by themselves. If they are under stress or if an introvert feels like everything in the world is too much, they're maybe more likely to spend some time alone as opposed to seeking out lots of people, trying to find lots of people to hang out with. I think this is a really interesting topic because there's lots of tests and things that you can do to work out if you as a person are more introverted or more extroverted. For example, you can just do like a full-on personality test. There's one which is really, really popular called the Myers-Briggs. Is it the Myers-Briggs? Oh, it's an MBTI. It's an MBTI test, or the website is called 16 Personality Types test. I will link it below if you want to have a go. And it's basically a test that you can do to see like exactly what your personality type is. So if you do this test, it will tell you whether you are introverted or extroverted. These tests are really interesting. I know that in some countries they are sort of valued or better known than in other countries. So lots of my Korean friends and Korean students, they all know their personality type from this test. So I did that test and I'll tell you what mine was. I was an INFJ. The other way that people say you can tell whether you are more introverted or extroverted as a person is if you go and hang out with like a big group of people. You know, maybe some of them are your friends, but some of them are new people, and you're socializing with loads of people during an evening. Does that experience, does it give you energy or does it take energy away? So if you are an introvert, if it drains you, if you feel like, okay, that social interaction was like really fun, but now I need to recharge, then probably you are more of an introvert. But if you go to that event and you literally leave it feeling on top of the world, if you feel like you have so much energy, you feel great, that was the best thing, it refreshed you, then you are an extrovert. So the idea that if socializing gives you energy, then you're an extrovert. And if it takes energy away, then you are an introvert. I am an introvert. I know that maybe that's surprising. I think whenever I tell people I'm an introvert, they're like, girl, no way. But I think I probably am. I did do the Myers-Briggs like personality type thing, the 16 personality types test, and I was 53% introverted. So I think I'm half and half, half introverted, half extroverted, I think. I know there are some people who call this like at the borderline, we would say that like at the borderline, 50% around this sort of area. If you're on the borderline with these things, then you are an ambivert. So you're not an introvert, you're not an extrovert, you're an ambivert. And I think I can be extroverted. Like I really enjoy speaking with people. I enjoy like spending time with people. Like I love it. I love talking. Obviously, this is like my job is just talk. But I think that for me personally, I do lose energy from socializing. I think for me, I do lose energy from socializing in some ways. Like if I get really stressed, for me, the best way to recover is like, I'm going to sit on my own in my room and I'm going to like watch like a documentary. I love being with my friends and my friends really don't drain me. But if I go to a house party, if I were to like meet loads of new people, I honestly would need to like sit in a dark room and just and recover. That's insane. But I'm not one of those people who my dream night out is like spending time speaking to strangers. I'm a little bit more introverted, I think. And yeah, I don't mind public speaking. Like I used to be a tour guide, so I would speak to people all the time. I then became an English teacher online, and that's a lot of conversation, but I love one-on-one. Like one-on-one conversation, I can do that all day. And I really, really, really enjoy it. But that's the thing. Whenever I go to like a house party, I don't really go to house parties anymore. But when I used to go to house parties, I would always end up sat in a room with like one person and they would just be telling me their life story. They would be like, yeah, like when I was 8, my parents got divorced. And I'll be like, oh, wow, like, how was that for you? I always have questions. I'm nosy. Maybe it's just I'm nosy. I like knowing other people's business. I'm a gossip. I don't know. I just actually thought of like a bit of slang for that. But when I'm in like a house party and people are telling me their life story and they're telling me like everything that's ever happened to them, some people call that trauma dumping. This is like slang. If you speak to like a 50-year-old Brit, they're not going to know what that is. But like the youth, the young people are saying trauma dumping these days. It means like someone is dumping all their trauma on you. They're just like telling you every bad thing that has ever happened to them. And that's what happens to me at a house party is I sit down. They find me, like other introverts find me and they tell me their life story, and that's just what happens at a house party. But honestly, one of the reasons why I thought this was an interesting topic, obviously, because this personality type thing is relevant to everyone, but also because I have been reading some papers recently on linguistics, like applied linguistics. I've been interested in like the science behind language learning. And something really, really interesting is that students who are more confident and not anxious people and are like outgoing, allegedly, according to the papers, I'll link them below too. You can fact check me if you want. I'll put the page. I'll put the page on screen and everything. But apparently, students who are more self-confident, who feel less anxious in social situations, they learn languages better. So this technically means that extroverts can learn how to speak in a language faster than like somebody who's super shy or super introverted. And I think that makes sense because so much of language learning is just doing the damn thing. Like, if you want to sit down and write, I mean, I don't mean this. I hate studying grammar, but some people actually love studying grammar and they really genuinely learn languages by sitting down and like studying a textbook. I have a friend like this. She speaks like 4 languages and she loves to read a textbook and study grammar. She's insane, but she is a really great linguist. So I'm not going to say that doing that doesn't work, but she is also very confident. Like, even though she might not have the best linguistic abilities, if she meets somebody who speaks French, for example, 100% she is going to speak French. And she's so extroverted. She doesn't care that she's making mistakes. She'll just, I'm going to speak French to you. And she goes. And I think it's one of the things that makes her so amazing at learning a language, because she goes, I can do this. And she just does it. And that means that she gets so many more opportunities. She gets so many more opportunities to practice and improve and build confidence, because so much of speaking well is related to confidence. It's not actually to do with linguistic ability. For example, when I get nervous, so I am British. I'm a British person. I grew up in the UK. My family are British. I, at least until very recently, I only spoke English. But I will make grammatical mistakes when I get nervous. When I get nervous, I make grammatical mistakes in my native language. And I'm sure this happens to you as well. If you're, public speaking, sometimes you can hear yourself fuck up. It happens. It happens to everybody. Like, we get nervous. We have a word for it. We call it tongue-tied. You get tongue-tied when you're nervous and you start stuttering, you start making mistakes, your sentences are not ordered correctly. It's really common. So if you are somebody who is naturally more confident, of course, your language is going to sound so much better. I'm not telling you this because I want to make you feel depressed if you are an introvert. If you are introverted, that does not mean that you cannot learn a language. Like, duh, how many introverts learn languages all the time? I'm an introvert. And every time I meet anybody new who speaks Spanish, I can promise you that I don't say a single word. Everyone's like, Evie, make a video speaking Spanish. Girl, no, because I'm so scared of making mistakes in front of people, because I think I'm probably like I'm a little bit shy. But it's true that if I speak, I just get better. The reason why I'm saying this, I mean, obviously, you can feel nervous about speaking in English if you are an extrovert or if you are an introvert. It doesn't matter. Everybody feels nervous sometimes, especially speaking in another language. It's scary, okay? It's scary as hell. But push through it. I would encourage you to, be confident. If you are somebody who you get the opportunity to speak English, speak up. Speak up, do it. Go on, if you are somebody who plays video games online, turn your mic on. Nobody's going to be rude to you. Well, they might, but do it anyway. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. I sometimes see people write comments down below, and sometimes people they use an AI to like check their answers. Don't do it. Don't do it. I mean, do it if you want, but just comment and make mistakes, because you will look back on these comments and see the progress that you've made. And it will allow you to, when you mess up, your brain is just developing more and more of these sort of roots that will help you speak better and feel more confident. So really go for it. Really go for it. I think you should. I also think if you can change your mentality to feel more confident, to be willing to make more mistakes, to speak up, that's going to be great for you. And be careful, because there's a lot of content trending at the moment of people saying things like, don't say this in English. If you want to sound native, you have to say this and never say that. Try and be careful with that sort of content, because the more of these like negative associations you build in your brain, you're going to start hesitating before you speak. So just be willing to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to, fuck up. Just do it. You're doing great. I'm going to wrap this podcast up here because I am literally yabbering away. I'm going to be uploading 2 videos this week. This podcast is going to be one of the videos, and there's going to be another one at my regular scheduled time as well. But I really hope that you found this video interesting, and hopefully we've been able to explore a little bit why being extroverted can help you with language learning, and hopefully these words have stuck in your brain as well. So that just leaves me to say thank you so, so much for listening to this podcast, and I will see you in the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.